With a once net worth of $40 billion, the Sultan of Brunei was the richest man on earth at one point. But the dangerous rabbit hole that is excessive spending caused his wealth to plummet. Not sure if he deserves your pity though, because he remains one of the richest men out there with a net worth of $20 billion currently. The Sultan has grown a bit more financially prudent over the years, but we still witness him splurge from time to time. Welcome to Super Rich Daily, and today we're going to take a closer look at the Sultan's spending habits and where all his money ends up going. Let's get into it. The Sultan of Brunei, the second longest reigning monarch in the world behind Elizabeth II, has been sitting on the throne for 52 years after inheriting it from his father. His immense fortune increases by $147 every second, primarily because of the valuable oil assets in his country. He also never seems to run out of ways to spend it. The Sultan lives in the largest royal residence in the world, the Instana Nurul Iman Palace. This enormous 1,800-room residence is located on the bank of the Brunei River and is worth $1.8 billion. The house has a banquet large enough to fit a grand total of 5,000 guests, with its palace decorated with fixtures made from gold and diamonds. It has 5 swimming pools, a massive private mosque, and an air-conditioned pony stable. The Sultan is a known car enthusiast, with his luxury car collection amounting to over $9 billion. It comprises Rolls Royces, Ferraris, Bentleys, Lamborghinis, Aston Martins, and Jaguars. His love and passion for opulent vehicles doesn't end with cars though. He has a fleet of private planes including a $138 million Airbus, a $251 million Boeing 767, and a customized Boeing 747 worth $431 million, decorated with gold. His 767 is a mid-sized wide-body twin-engine jet airliner designed with a deluxe room including a complete interior office. The Boeing 747 that he ordered contains several bedrooms and stalls to transport himself and his polo ponies back and forth between Britain and Brunei. Back on cars, according to reports, the Sultan has almost 600 Mercedes, including one that is gold-plated. One entire section of his hangar-sized garage is dedicated to storing the world's most exclusive and rarest Mercs. That collection of cars includes models not meant for public consumption, such as the unique S-Class touring model designed just for the Sultan, and a yellow Mercedes Sprinter with a red interior. Do you know those Ferraris which were just meant to be concept cars? Well, the Sultan owns them. When you have that much money to spend, any idea can take on a physical form, including 2 fully operational Ferrari Mythos. Of course, one cannot imagine an elegant car collection without the iconic BMWs, and the Sultan entirely agrees. He has a couple of hundred of these beauties. Moreover, going by the sheer number of Rolls Royce he has, it would be safe to assume that that is his favorite make. The Sultan is also very much into badminton. In fact, his personal coach earns an annual wage of over $2 million. That is also the amount the Sultan spends on acupuncture and massages. He even got the world's most successful golfer ever, Jack Nicklaus, to design a golf course for him at one of his hotels. When he's in need of a haircut, there's a favorite stylist right at his service, flown in by a private jet. Even when he's coordinating outfits, there's a wide array of matching shoes to choose from, all of which are flown in by helicopter. He is so particular about his shoes that while playing polo with Britain's Prince Charles, the Sultan once had his polo shoes delivered by helicopter to the palace field. When you're such a huge deal, you're bound to have international leaders paying you visits. How do you entertain them? The Sultan chooses to do so by commissioning his own private zoo with 30 Bengal tigers. It also contains falcons, flamingos, and cockatoos which can play basketball, ride bicycles, sing, talk, and imitate other animals. Back in 1996, the Sultan of Brunei celebrated his 50th birthday, and there couldn't be a more explicit demonstration of the extravagant wealth of this guy. Most of us celebrate our birthdays for a day, but then again, we're not worth $20 billion. Sultan Hassanal splashed out $36.9 million on 2 weeks of celebrations for himself, including a polo match and a lavish gala dinner with beluga caviar on the menu. He even got Michael Jackson to perform at 3 concerts that marked the occasion, an exhibit that cost him over $25.8 million. His 60th birthday celebration was no less mind-blowing. The streets of Brunei were festooned with colored lights and bunting, and cannons roared out in salute. Dignitaries and Asian heads of state attended the banquet and fireworks display at Bandar Seri Begawan. Almost every building was covered with gigantic posters of the revered monarch. The Sultan has married over 3 times, with each one of his weddings being worth millions. According to BornRich.com, he doesn't have to think twice before getting a haircut for a mind-boggling $21,000. He has a home in Las Vegas, of course, which is an estate with an official listing of $37.5 million. This property of his sits on 11.2 acres of land, including an international-sized swimming pool, a swan pond, and large gardens with an arcade of palms. The landscape is decorated with fountains, lawns, sitting areas, and extensive decorate lighting. The house, constituted by 8 separate buildings, has an equestrian center along with a polo track, a sushi bar, and a discotheque. Needless to say, everything about this place is extra large. The master bedroom, kitchen, master bathroom, everywhere you go is an adventure onto its own. And with the neighborhood being home to some of the largest hotels, casinos, residential buildings and resorts in the world, pretty sure most Hollywood celebrities would undoubtedly have paid a visit at some point or another. Big spending seems to run in the family. The Sultan has a playboy brother, Prince Geoffrey Bolkiah, who owns a London residence in St. John's Lodge in swanky Regent's Park. This private house is worth $203 million and is the most expensive house in the UK. The prince also used to race Ferraris against the Sultan at night in the streets of Brunei's capital. During the financial crisis in Asia in the 1990s, the two brothers ended up fighting over their spending habits, with the Sultan suing his brother for misspending billions of dollars. The irony. The monarch also owned a lavish mansion near Sunset Boulevard in Beverly Hills, California. Constructed in 1927, the Spanish colonial-style mansion was valued at $38 million. The Sultan rarely paid visits to California, but if he ever did so, the house served as a temporary residence. His purchases also include some of the world's most expensive hotels. The Brunei Investment Agency, an arm of the government, bought and set up the Dorchester collection of hotels. From the Dorchester in London, the Beverly Hills Hotel in LA, to the Le Maurice in Paris and Hotel Eden in Rome, they are the most expensive choices of residences for the mega-rich. When you have so much money at your disposal, it'd be a shame if you're not generous with spending it on others. The Sultan himself loves to bestow lavish presents and jewelry. In 1995, he bought the Asprey for $592 million. At the wedding of his eldest daughter, Princess Rashida, in 1996, Whitney Houston was flown in to perform for the guests at a reported cost of $7 million. Given all his extravagant spending habits, it may sound ironic at this point, but the Sultan of Brunei has had a pretty extreme take on matters concerning the public in his own country. He tried introducing laws to punish homosexuality with death by stoning as part of a move to align the country with Sharia law, a strict interpretation of Islam. For this reason, many prominent actors such as George Clooney have boycotted his hotels and refused any kind of communication with him. After a significant backlash from Western media and governments, however, the Sultan backpedaled and promised that the punishment would not be enforced. What are your thoughts on the extraordinary ways the Sultan of Brunei chooses to spend his colossal wealth? Do you think it's justified, or is it a complete waste of resources? Given a chance, what would you do differently? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to like the video, subscribe to our channel, and tune in next time for more amazing content. Have a great day.